Howdy, and welcome to Wild Horse Corral. Basically, we're gonna go over the 5 days that we have with all the games. Where on day 1, we are called to be different. We take the time to show the children and share with them the story of John the Baptist and how he was called to be different. There were 2 games that we played. The first one was the grasshoppers game. On one end, you'll have somebody holding the net and receiving all the grasshoppers. So each child will have the opportunity to get on the other end because you're gonna have 2 horizontal lines. Half of the teams will go to the nets and the other half actually try and toss the clothespin into the net. The second game is called Jump Jump. And basically what that game was about is giving the kids the opportunity to learn a little bit about locusts and grasshoppers. Are they the same or are they different? You use the same 2 horizontal lines. It's kind of like giving them the opportunity to hop with both legs and getting the opportunity to feel what it feels like. And then once they've all hopped back and forth, we ask the question, what's the difference between a grasshopper and human? Are we the same as grasshoppers or are we different? And give them the answers and what are the differences. And then we discussed how John the Baptist was called to be different and how he was called to serve God, and he followed that call. So it allowed the kids to know that it's okay to be different and that we are called, that is a calling from God to be different and to share God's love with others. Day 2 at the Wild Horse Corral was called to be faithful. And on this day, we had the opportunity to share and share basically with the children of all ages how to learn direction. The first game is called Turn to the West. You're going to have the kids line up on 2 horizontal lines and separate them into even groups. You tell them, when I say south, jump south. So we'll all jump south. Or if I say jump north, you jump north. And you let them know that as the game progresses, if they jump to the wrong direction, then they are out of the game. The second game that we played was called 4 Corners, and it ties into the first game, Turn to the West. You're going to need 4 poster boards, blue, red, yellow, and green. And what you do in this game is you get all the kids in the center, and you want to have a good 10 to 15 feet each direction, and you basically will ask questions like, whose favorite color is blue? And those kids whose favorite color is blue, run to that one, the blue color. And those kids who like broccoli, hop backwards. Day 3, called to forgive. The first game is called Grain Grain. And so what Grain Grain is emphasizing is the story of Joseph and how he was put in charge of the grain in Egypt, and he was given that high position. So what we do is we basically separate the teams. You want to make sure that you have enough space. So you're going to have a start mark and an end mark based on the number of teams that you have. You will need buckets or some type of trash bag so that each person who is given a ball or a balloon can put the balls in. So you give them about 5 minutes. At the end of the 5 minutes, you're going to have their leaders help you count the balls or balloons, and the team with the most balloons will win. The second game that was played is Goblet Goblet, and it is another relay game where you get 6 solo cups, you stack them 3, 2, 1, and then you're gonna separate or use the same teams that you had already, or if you want to mix them, you can. And basically the objective of this game is to have each child go and unstack and restack the pyramid of goblets. They go back, they tag the next person until the first team that is completed wins. Day 4 at the Wild Horse Corral, Called to Serve, focuses on Deborah and the fact that she served by being a judge. And the first game that is played is called Dodge Battle. You're going to need 6 cones, 6 tennis balls or another type of ball. You're going to need about 10 to 15 soft balls. You're going to put all 6 cones in the center of the area, whether you're inside or outside. You make sure you have a good amount of space reserved. So you're going to put all the cones in and you're going to put the balls on top of them. And you're going to separate into 2 teams regardless of size. So what the object is that both teams are going to be given balls, the soft balls, and they're all going to have to go after those 6 balls. And so the team who has collected the most amount of balls by the time allotted will be the winner. The second game is called Chariots. So what you're gonna go ahead and do is you're gonna create 2 horizontal lines and you're gonna separate all the kids into 2 teams. You wanna make sure that each team has a pair or somebody will have to go twice. So basically what you'll do is you'll have them pair up in 2s and they are going to race like a human chariot. The first team who's completed the task wins. Day 5, Called to Give. Day 5 consists of 1 game, the most important game, called Give Your Heart Away. So what you're going to do is give each child a sheet of heart stickers, and this game is like a tag game. So we're going to give all the kids the opportunity to tag each other with hearts, and in a certain amount of time. You may want to give them 5 minutes or about 5 minutes, and the child that has given away the most hearts is the child who wins. And once that's done, they're going to break off into groups and we're going to have a discussion, and that discussion is called Dig a Little Deeper. In that discussion, we're going to talk about what it is to be called to give, and our ultimate giver was Jesus Christ. And we're going to discuss, did Jesus like to give? What are the things that he did to show that he gave? Was he a good servant? Did he care for others, and how did he show that he cared? And then what you want to do is bring that conversation in a little bit more personal and closer, and ask the kids, have you done anything in the past few days that you would think exemplifies a giving spirit? And then have a discussion on those things.